Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another great movie reaction review. Today we are reviewing another movie from my Sci-Fi Classics 50 movie set, The Lost Jungle, starring Clyde Beatty, Cecilia Parker, and Sid Saylor. It's from 1934, black and white. And of course, like many of the films in this set, it is in fact unrated. This is another forgettable film that you can find online for free, legally, if you're interested. Let me give you the read-up real quick for The Lost Jungle. Clyde Beatty portrays himself, an animal trainer and circus star, in this action film. Beatty leads a search for his missing girlfriend and her father, who were on an expedition looking for a lost tropical island. Using a dirigible as his mode of transportation, like that's an airship, Beatty and his band head off in search of the missing explorers, only to crash their airship on the same island their friends are located. Battling wild animals and a gang of greedy men searching for gold, which doesn't happen, by the way. That doesn't happen in the movie. Beatty and his party must rescue his girlfriend and father, all the while trying to escape their jungle island. So the read-up is actually a lot more exciting than the film itself, because The Lost Jungle, it really sucks. It's a terrible film. And it's full of animal cruelty. Yes, that needs to be addressed. Very cruel. So, many of you might have seen the Crocodile Hunter movie. I really enjoyed that movie as a kid. I worshipped him as a child. I still think he's one of the greatest men that ever lived as an adult. But that was basically, he was just a really popular dude who worked with animals, so they gave him a movie even though he wasn't an actor. Same thing here. Just a famous animal trainer. They were like, fuck it, we can make a quick buck by turning him into an actor real quick, making a movie about him that's fictional. And of course it starts raining as soon as I start talking. But, so the way they portray Clyde Beatty isn't even, like, it's not flattering. Like, he obviously cares more about his job and his animals than he does his girlfriend. And even when his girlfriend gets deserted on a lost island, the motherfucker is like, hey, when I go save her, I can also get some lions and tigers from there. It's the only island on Earth where lions and tigers live together. So it's two birds with one stone. Like, even when he goes to save her, he's still thinking about getting lions and tigers for his cruel show. Like, well, people don't train animals like this anymore with the, like, you know, that stereotypical image of the circus lion table with, like, the chair in one hand and the whip in the other hand. No one tames animals like that anymore. It's kind of cruel. We don't do it. But what's also cruel in this movie is that for some scenes, it required a lion and a tiger to just fight each other. So they just took a lion and a tiger, and they had them fight each other. And that is extremely unethical. It's extremely cruel. That happens at least twice in this film. The animals, all the animals in the film look uncomfortable all the time. When they're in cages, the cages are so small they can't go anywhere. There are times where there are multiple animals on set and they're all like fighting each other and stuff because they don't want to be on set together. It's really not good for the animals. So if you're a big animal person, the movie might sound cool because it's got a lot of animals in it, but they are not treated well. It's not fun to watch for that reason, and also for the fact that it's written poorly and it's just a straight-up shitty movie. There's like this other animal trainer in the movie who's jealous of Clyde, and it's like, at one point we see him secretly hoping Clyde dies when something kind of goes wrong with a stunt. And then there's another point where he finds Clyde alive on the island after the airship's crashed, and his first instinct is to pull the gun because he wants to kill him. And then he releases a tiger in the hopes that it'll kill Clyde. And then, big spoiler, a lion actually kills that other tamer, whose name was Sharky, by the way. A lion kills him And it just happens away from everybody else. So there's like no big confrontation between him and Betty or anything. And there's also like this lost treasure on the island. Because the main reason for the expedition to the island, or the first expedition, was to document this lost city. The quote-unquote real cradle of civilization. We spend maybe like 5 minutes in the lost city when Sharky finds it. And he finds out there's treasure there. And then I guess he wants to kill everyone else on the island so he can't share the treasure, but also at the same time, if he does kill everyone else on the island, how is he going to get off the island to spend the money he would get from the treasure? It doesn't make any sense. And then this part actually pissed me off. Like, I was angry. Like, on Sharky's dead body, they find a map to the lost city with the treasure, where the professor's body is also hidden, because the professor that wanted to discover the city died. He was also... There was apparently a fight that happened off-screen against a man who rose from a crocodile pit, which sounds super cool, but we didn't get to see it. We never get to see the man, period, actually. He just disappears after that. We never see him. And he, like, fought him and he really injured him, and then he died of those injuries, it seems. Well, once Sharky dies, they have a map to the lost city and the treasure, and then... like, some of the main characters are like, we have to go find the professor, and then all the sailors are like, yeah, let's go get that treasure. And then it cuts to them in the same location they just were, but now they're holding the treasure. So the entirety of them traveling through the jungle, going to the lost city, finding the treasure, possibly confronting the man who lives in the crocodile pit, and then tracking back through the jungle, all of that just wasn't shown. Can you believe that? That could have been a whole movie by itself. Like, almost nothing happens in this movie. The movie is it gives a bunch of narrative excuses for Clyde Beatty to have to tame a tiger or a lion, but every time he does it, he really just does the same thing. Like, it's kind of boring. He just kind of makes them run in circles, they roll over, and then they run into a cage. And I don't know how anyone ever found these routines entertaining. I guess it's just because they were dangerous. That's the only reason they were entertaining. Like Jackass, you know? And you ever watch Jackass? Like, Jackass isn't good, but it's dangerous, so that's kind of intriguing. Yeah, I guess that's how these stunts were. But then when you see it in a movie like this, it loses a lot of that. Because when you're watching it live, you're like, wow, anything could happen. This guy could die. But when you're watching it in the movie, it's like, well, it's a movie. Like, there's no real consequences. It doesn't feel like he could die, because it's a movie and he's the main character, even though he's a shitty boyfriend, and etc. And then like his manager is like this comic relief character. He's one of those old timey things where like the bow tie goes up and down when he's scared or aroused, and he's like always saying just stupid one-line comedy shit. It's not funny. Maybe it was back in the 30s, but it doesn't hold up. It's not like Abbott and Costello. It doesn't really hold up. Well, Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy didn't hold up. That movie sucks ass, but... yeah, The Lost Jungle is easily skippable. Don't even know why it's on this set, because it's not a sci-fi movie. It's just an adventure film. And adventure films are fine, but there has to actually be some adventure. Almost all of the adventure was cut out of the film. That's the crazy thing. Just so we could show Clyde Beatty taming the same tiger 5 times. It's a really stupid film. So, The Lost Jungle, starring Clyde Beatty, Cecilia Parker, Sid Saylor, 1934, black and white, unrated, overall, gets a thumbs down. It can suck my ass. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. And hopefully Misa of Lost Women won't be as bad, because that might not necessarily be the next thing I review, but it's going to be yeah, you know, it probably will be my next review. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. There's no need to watch The Lost Jungle. It's bad. Bye for now.